Hello, so here we are again at La Ferme de Lettres. I just thought I'd give you a little update to see what's going on with my babies again. And a few people have been asking, so here we go. So from the last planting in the Propagator, this is what's going on. Things are getting pretty big here. There's the pumpkin and the melon. The watermelon is getting really big. This is the borax. And you've got cabbage starting to grow here. Sweet potatoes are doing really well. I'm really happy as well because the turmeric here is starting to grow, and the ginger on the right here. So that's quite exciting. And apart from that, in the flower department, we've got lilac, which is just starting to flower, which is really beautiful. Just look at those flowers. And the smell is like divine. Beautiful. And this is the entrance to what I call the preservation garden. That's where my bee room is that I was talking with a few videos ago. It's down there. And there's a whole bunch of beautiful shrubs, flowering shrubs that I planted quite a few years ago as little tiny cuttings. And they've become quite big. There's another lilac here. Look at this. I love this color, and the smell is really incredible. Not exactly the same as the white ones. To the left, I've created a little, what I call a room, a little clearing behind the trees, which will be a nice little kind of place where you can be quiet. It's not quite finished yet. And it's also the entrance into the path, which goes into the woods. And now I'll take you to the greenhouse, where things are starting to grow, and it's fun. Oh, just before, I'll show you, just outside the greenhouse is rhubarb. The magnificent rhubarb plant. They're ready to be picked. It's really strong. They're almost like leather, the things. And apparently the leaves are very good for the compost. They're full of things which are great for the compost. So things are starting to grow in the greenhouse. You got sweet peas getting quite big. It's like exponential there, how they're growing. And see how the tendrils grabbing onto the guides. You have green beans doing very well. This is passiflora, which is starting to grow. There's some spontaneous, I think this looks like a potato plant. I don't know how, it must have been in the compost and it just kind of grew naturally. There's tomato also that started to grow by itself, probably from last year. There's a whole bunch of flowers, borax, more green beans, clematis. And in the next room we have a lemon, which suffered a little bit from the cold earlier, but now it's like picking up. There's lots of great new sprouts, lots of new leaves coming. And I actually took the old leaves and put them into a vegetable roast, and they were like lemon. It was great. It was like using lemon, so that's wonderful. Here we have my orange tree. I'm really hoping that this year maybe we'll get some flowers and get some oranges and some lemons. And here we have mange tout, poivrement. So we have gonna have our first harvest very soon. They're starting to be ready. They're flowering. So we've got the first ones there. Quite excited about that. And here's some more things. Everything's starting to get big, so I'm gonna have to start separating them and picking them out, putting them into separate places so that they can grow a bit better before I plant them in a few weeks. Because I think they're starting to suffer a little bit in these tiny little pots all together. So that will be something I'll be doing the next few days. But today, it's nice because it's a little cooler. It's been very hot the last few days, which is nice, but when you're working outside and working hard, you don't want to get too hot. So today yesterday I cut the grass, and I'll be getting it up and putting it onto my vegetable patches. Here's my lines of cut grass that I've got to rake up, and I'm going to put them over here where I've started making my beds. got a whole bunch of beds, trying to make it all pretty, because I think it's important that beauty and practice go together. And I've been using what I have. That's one of the principles of permaculture, isn't it? So using what you have available. So I had these old bricks, I had the old wood, and I've been kind of making that into something. These are the grapes that I pruned a little while ago, about a month ago. Cut them down to 2-3 eyes, I think you call them. And now they're starting to grow. You can see the little grape flowers. Where are they? Trying to find them here. There you get them. The grape flowers starting to form. And just underneath them I have raspberries. This is the latest plant bed that I've been making. It was really a huge job, but I think it's coming out quite nicely. As bars, I used all branches to make the bars, and I've covered up. I made compost in situ, and now I'm covering it with the cut grass and compost and twigs in the middle. You can see here a little bit of the structure. So I put the twigs in the middle because there'll be 2 rows, 1 row of vegetables on each side. I've laid out some nettles because that kind of activates the compost. It's really good for nitrogen fixing. And then afterwards I put the grass, and then I put the compost as I did over there. And then afterwards I'll put wet cardboard, which I'm gonna hold down with some tiles that I have left over. I have a huge pile of tiles, and again, same principle, permaculture principle, use what you have. It's a natural product, some clay, they're probably made here years ago, and I'm gonna hold that down. And then cover it with a very thick mulch of hay. And same, I have old hay in the barn, which I need to get rid of because I'm going to be making it into my atelier and an exhibition space. So I'm going to take that hay and put it on here. Oh yes, and just a quick note. I'm very lucky because there's been these caterpillars of this, I can't remember the name of it. There's a butterfly that's come from China before coronavirus, and it's eaten all the box hedges all over Europe, I think, and definitely in France anyway. And for some reason, I have a theory about it. It hasn't eaten mine. It came a little bit into this one. I have one huge one. Look at this. So this is my box hedge, which is very old. Probably, my neighbor said it was probably over 100 years old. And it was a little bit eaten by them, but it was okay in the end. And I have many more planted over there, and for some reason they didn't get attacked. My theory is that, one, I don't clip them, because just instinctively I thought, well, maybe it's the smell when you clip them, these clipped hedges, that attracts the butterflies. So maybe that's one reason. Another reason is I have a huge amount of fruit trees, which I grow, and a lot of them, like elderberry and things like that, I let them grow for the birds. And there are thousands, you can hear in the background all the birds that there are just thousands of birds. And I figure they're eating the worms, the caterpillars. So they're saving me. I'm very happy about that because it's a beautiful, sacred plant. I really don't consider myself to be a professional or an expert or even to know very much about anything, and it's all really trial and error, and I'm constantly doubting myself and completely scared of what's going to happen. I'm thinking if I'm going to make these beds and I'm going to plant the plants and none of it's going to work and it's going to be a disaster. So even if I may come across as trying to look very confident and I know what I'm doing and everything, I really kind of don't. It's really trial and error. And but you have to kind of just go ahead and do it and make your mistakes, and that's how you learn. I've been observing this land for a long time. I've been watching how things grow. I think that's what I've picked up from from learning from experts, that you just have to observe a lot and see how nature is, because in permaculture, every single place is individual. As we as humans are, we're all individuals and all different, and each place is different. And even afterwards, I'll take the seeds that I've grown here and I'll replant them, because those seeds will be much better adapted to grow here. And I find that really exciting. It's like we're growing together. It's like a collaboration. This idea of collaborating with nature to create an artwork. Until now I haven't shown you, there's another part of the garden. This is the orchard. With the greenhouse is in the middle of an orchard. So this is the last cherry tree to blossom. It's also the biggest one. It's huge. It's like an orgasm of flowers. It's really stunning. And it comes just before the more kind of like geometrical garden. This is the entrance into the circle. So it has a long path going through here, which leads into the circle, which you can kind of perceive here. And I planted a whole bunch of stuff which is just waiting to grow. And here there will be a circle, a little bit like a Stonehenge circle. I have some great wood beams that I'm going to erect all around here, and I'm going to make it as an art piece. And actually, completely by chance, the path that goes over there, it is actually on the day of the winter solstice, the sun sets exactly, I'm trying to figure out there, sets exactly there. So that was a nice coincidence. There you have it. I've been working quite hard and I'm really enjoying myself. So it's a beautiful way to live. It seems so far away from everything that's going on now, and at the same time I think everything that's going on now should really be making us rethink our way of living, because this just seems so natural to me and so evident that this is the way to go, So happy you can watch, and I'm happy to share, and I hope you're doing all okay.